Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but a Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me Bobby Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a Galu. The artist blood on my tongue. Thinking this is warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Just throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink, they gon' pull up, but drink a knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, call me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks, you use a Decepticon. Straight rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they can float, they like up in the swords and I'm E-Man. Up, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans get defeated. Hop in the ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, get up. You already know, y'all. The early bird is the only one who gets the worm. And on today, that's not playing. Oh, it is. On today, we're going to discuss Agatha all along episode 6 recap, which I would literally call, which is the longest. They went from the shortest episode to the longest episode. So now I'm kind of have a little bit of hope that, even the final episode will be long also. But this episode is the Billy Kaplan story, and we get into it today. And not gonna lie, the episode was really good. And surprise, they didn't shy away from dare I say comic book origins. A little comic origins on here. They're telling the original comic book story that is, may not be 100% what was done in the comics, but damn, it was close. I will give them that. I will always give credit where credit is due. So, hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant channel, but you already know how I do. The real question is... All right. Let's see who is all up in the hizzy for show. The show today. It's She. What's she? My man She. What's good? What's good with it, homie? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. American Niji girl. Good morning. Roz and Sean. My sister. Roberta. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Church auntie. She don't play them games, but she support this channel. So I be trying not to cuss because I be wanting to, but because of her, I try not. Xavier Phoenix, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Tracy Woods. Good morning. Good morning. Tina, aka Minty Gasm. Good morning. Good morning. Persetta, good morning. Good morning. It should be 2 episodes back to back for the last one. I think that's what they announced. And Junior Network, good morning. If they was smart, they'd do it like they did this episode, because this felt like 2 episodes, like part 1 and part 2 put together. And I absolutely love this episode. I'm not even gonna hold you. I loved it for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it was an origin story for Billy Kaplan or William Kaplan. It's an origin story. And a lot of people predicted this a long time ago. Again, you know, did I think that I wanted to be Senior Scratch? Yes, I did. You know, am I satisfied with what I got? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm actually very satisfied on what I got because, you know, clearly they're setting up, you know, what I said about this show before it happened. What is the significance that is going to have on the impact of the MCU going forward? Is it going to be a multiverse story? Of course, we're not all the way there yet. But obviously now, it's no hidden secret. They're really pushing the Young Avengers. They're really pushing the Young Avengers, adding Wiccan. When they get Speed, you know, when they get Hulkling. What's up, Eric Shaw? What's up? What's good? When they get Hulkling introduced, they already got what's McCall's name? Hulk's Scar is already there. Kate Bishop, you know, and Miss Marvel. So they already got a good Young Avengers team together. What they're going to do with now, of course, this circles back to Kane the Conqueror. This is a reason. There's always a ripple effect when I start talking about Kane the Conqueror, because you don't have Iron Lad without Kane the Conqueror. That's why it's so important to tell that story. Now, of course, Iron Lad is Kane the Conqueror from a younger Kane the Conqueror from a universe where he to become Kane the Conqueror. But you cannot just dismiss Kane the Conqueror for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom and not circle back to Kane the Conqueror, because it's vital for that story. And good God, what I would love Jonathan Majors to be going head to head with a young guy with very much acting chops. They're just going back and forth, you know, basically on their philosophy on how they operate and how, you know, Jonathan Majors Kang is trying to manipulate him to be another Kang in the future and how he turns on him. To me, that's good television. That will be really good television. If you know, do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? So that's something that I would mind seeing. Will I get it? I don't know. But I would love to see that. That's why, again, Kane the Conqueror is so important. You just can't throw that character away. There's so much, especially with this that you're setting up. You got Patriot coming, who was introduced in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now they're gonna recast that actor because obviously he got into some trouble or whatever. So, you know, that actor is going to be recast. What's up, Andre Ware? What's up? So that actor is going to be recast, but the character of Iron Patriot is still out there. Or Patriot. I say Iron Patriot, I mean Patriot. You know what I mean? So that's still out there. So there's your Young Avengers scene in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Right there. You know, so this episode really set up Billy and Tommy, Wiccan and Speed for the future. And now we know, the reason why he's going on the witch's road wholeheartedly now. Now his intent is known. So let's get into this recap. If this is the first time you're watching this, you already know. Well, if it's the first time you're watching this, do know that I do these recaps, in my own unique way. I do skip 10 seconds because I don't want to get in trouble by Disney. Thanks to Blue, I already got a copyright claim based on the music he did on Monday. Thanks a lot, Blue. Nah, Blue, my guy, though. He probably didn't even know. But that's the reason why I do it. Again, I recap this whole entire episode in my own unique way, and I give you my final thoughts at the very end. So, and I kind of just gave you some of my thoughts now, but let's get into it. Let's get into the recap. Again, this is the longest episode so far at a total runtime of 47:58. Of course, 7 minutes of that is the credits. You know what I mean? So a good about 40-minute episode. All right, let's get into it. So again, we see a young William Kaplan, aka Billy Kaplan. Before now, this always intrigued me because he's going into into mosque. No, I'm sorry. This is is it the synagogue for the Jewish you correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, make sure to correct me if I'm wrong because I think I'm totally wrong on this. But it's the synagogue, right? So, well, anyway, it's bar mitzvah time. Let me get out of that part because I'll be out here all day trying to find an answer. But it's bar mitzvah time. What up, Torian? What's good? What's up? Good morning. Good morning, my brother. So he's getting ready for his bar mitzvah. He is turning the man at 13. Actually, if you look, I think it's before he goes here. Is it before he goes here? Why he's getting ready? It actually gives you now, mind you, I think it's here. Why he's getting ready? No, it wasn't there yet. But this is his bar mitzvah, and you actually see on the paper that they hand out that it's before William Kaplan. Now, I always will give credit where credit is due. Now, especially if you know me. But you know what I see right here? Right there. Black Jews. And I will give the casting director, anybody, major props on this. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people do not believe that black people, practice Judaism. And I did like the fact in the bar mitzvah party scene that you actually see black Jews. I mean, it's two. My man right here. But I think that's important. And the reason why it says, okay, we got three. We got my man right here. We got my man over here in the hat. Shalom. Torah. But you know what I mean? It's important because anytime I talk about Jews, I'm like, black people are Jews too. Let's not exit them out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Jews on the west coast of Africa and stuff like that. But it was yes, absolutely, America needs you, girl. Absolutely. But we in the Jewish conversation, we normally get exited out, and that's not necessarily true. So that's one of the reasons I will give, again, shout out to the casting director, Lana J. What's up? Yes, Toria. I caught it on my phone. I watched it on my phone, and I caught it. And I said, thank you. Thank you, casting director, for not just placing white people as Jews. It's not the truth. You know what I mean? So let me get out my horse on that one. Let's go. He's sitting with his parents. You know what I'm saying? Jeff, and I think it's Jeff and Linda. Again, he's still William Kaplan right now. Again, they at the bar mitzvah party. They're having a good time. They put him on the chair. You know what I'm saying? My brother right there. Man, I'm honestly, I'm being real with you. This made me happy, and this made me proud. You know what I mean? that Hollywood would even do this. And if you know, you know. But I was just happy. This just puts puts a smile on my face in certain ways. You know what I mean? But what was weird, maybe this was just something for them, but to have a palm reader at a bar mitzvah, not necessarily. I was proud. You know, I was like, somebody in Hollywood is actually bucking the system. And you know, it's like Superman when he put his hands on his hips. That's how it was. This was a good origin story. I wouldn't call this necessarily filler because this was a origin story for Wiccan, and with that, it's circling it back to not only WandaVision but the first episode of Agatha All Along made it even perfect because now we're seeing it from his point of view. You know what I mean? So that's why I really like this episode because we needed an origin. You always need the origin story. You know, how did he get there? They did it perfectly, tying it in the middle of Agatha All Along because this was his story and it fit. It wasn't out of place. But again, I was really weirded out that they had a palm reader in here at a bar mitzvah. Like that would be, you know, to me, that would be like witchcraft, quote unquote. You know what I mean? But they didn't do that. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And this is where, like, we met everybody who was here. Liliana, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Or, yeah, Liliana. You know, we met everybody here in this episode. Now we get to understand who put the sigil on him, you know, all of this stuff. So she goes and reads his palm, and in the middle of this, she starts telling them how, you know, the things was, you know, the how, you know, you got these in the future, but she actually seen in this little clip right here, she already seen his future of what he's going to look like. So she was like, your palm, your destiny splits in two. You know what I mean? So this is the end of Billy Kaplan and the beginning of Billy Maximoff. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was different. To have a palm reader at Bar's Mitzvah is wild. You know what I mean? It was wild. But she's seen it. You know what I'm saying? And she mentions the tower. I think it was the Switch Tower, I believe she said. Which basically was one of the tarot cards that she had, but she was telling them that, you know, you need to, you know, follow your own path. The tower reversed. So he had this one particular path, and now it's reversed. Now you're on a totally different path now, which again, I really like the way that they did this for the simple fact is, like I said, now we're getting, you know, this character, we're watching from his side. Number one, for number two, you know, you got to look at it like this. You got to look at it as, you know, the inverse effect and a way for him to tell his story where it makes sense, and you could tie it into his comic origin. Yeah, they must not have a Kojic person who said that's hilarious. Yeah, but that's what I think I like. It ties into, you know, the way that not necessarily all of it, but it ties a lot into the creation of his story, you know, where, you know, the soul of Billy Maximoff goes into Billy Kaplan and he's basically resurrected. That's exactly what happened here. And again, when it comes to origin stories, Captain America, Iron Man, because they had to change it for the time frame, you know, even Thor, you know, to a certain extent. This literally reminded me of how Marvel used to do their origin story. It literally kind of gave me, you know, hope a little bit that Marvel is course correcting as far as their storytelling. But she put the sigil, and this is where we see it at. She put it on there, and she put it inside of his coat. You know what I mean? So she's the reason why she couldn't remember who he was. So she ended up giving the coat. And she was like, one kid gave it to, left his jacket in here. She was like, who? She was like, I don't know. So that was automatically why she didn't really understand or know who he was. And again, great way to know or foreshadow. You know what I mean? Now, it's crazy. You know how I get on this boy eyebrows. It's funny when he got on his eyeliner and all this stuff. I don't even care about his eyebrows. But man, we ain't got none of that on, man. All I see is Al B. Sure's eyebrows. And if you know Al B. Sure's eyebrows, you be wanting him to do something with them. Or them Anthony Davis eyebrows. Come on, man. Yeah. But okay, so they're getting ready to leave because now they're talking about the anomaly and Wanda. This is when Wanda was bringing down the actual hex, or they call it the anomaly. We know it as being the hex. You know what I mean? So we see it actually in his rear view getting smaller. You know what I'm saying? And it was like it, and they were so focused on the hex. You know what I mean? They end up wrecking their car. And I'm not gonna lie, when I seen this, the way that he hit, I mean, I'm talking about they slammed the crap. They slammed the crap out of this car on that particular side. I could see that kid dying. Like, I'm not joking. If somebody was in that car for real, yeah. On that side, yeah. You know what I mean? He's most definitely not making it out of that. I don't care how much he got his seatbelt on. He cracked a tree. You know what I mean? So we hear in this scene his heartbeat dying. Like, we literally see him dying. And then we hear, now remember, inside of the hex, it was dark because she was putting her kids to bed in the WandaVision, right? She was putting her kids to bed. But when everybody finally disappeared, when the kids disappeared, when Vision finally disappeared, what ended up happening? And all that energy got sucked back in, it was light outside. So I like the fact that they kept the time frame together. Because again, in the hex, it was the end of what they had to do, and she was putting her kids to bed for the final time. You know what I mean? And if you actually really notice, or if you heard it, you watch this on your headphones, your tablet, you can actually hear Billy and Tommy, you know what I'm saying goodbye to their mom. So that's why when he finally wakes up, he screams Tommy. You know what I'm saying? When he finally wakes up, he screams Tommy. You know what I mean? So I do like that. I do like that because now it ties into the exact moment when they disappeared, and now that spirit, I guess, because again, Billy and Tommy is actually alive in the multiverse. We know that they're in the 838 universe. So they're actually real in a universe. They're actually real. Now that spirit or whatever that she made to create them went inside of him. And again, this ties a lot into what they actually kind of told in the comics. Different circumstances, but the origin is linear. Put it more like that. It's not so off where you're like, what? It ain't Wonder Man. It ain't Wonder. And I give them that. I would literally give them that for this. So let's keep going. So now we see what's her name? Oh God. Okay, I'm bringing it up. Y'all don't get on me. Give me just a second, because I just gotta see her name. No. Alice. That's her name. Alice. Again, I got it. I got it. All right. You see Alice pulls up, and you see her with the East View. So we got West Side and East Side beefing. So she from East View. You know what I mean? So we get to tie into the characters. You actually get to see Lilia. You get to see Alice. You get to see Jennifer. Jennifer Kale. The only person we didn't see is Rio. That's the only person we have not seen is Rio yet. In this episode, where she's not in this episode, but we didn't get to see her. So he wakes up. He's trying to figure out what's going on. You ought to say, remind you, he's still a kid. In his mind, he's still a kid. You know, in this though, he's waking up. He's like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Because he's waking up in the hospital. Now, this actor, I cannot remember. He's been in stuff, normally like TV stuff or whatever. I'm trying to remember. I think he was on an episode of the Chucky TV show, but I forgot this guy's name. But every time I see him in something, I'm like, that's that guy, but I could never think of his name. You know what I mean? But you know, he's waking up. He's trying to remember who he is because he has no idea. Because again, look at them eyebrows. Tell me I ain't tripping. Y'all, come on now. Tell me I ain't tripping. His eyebrows look like they cut it, but they cut it. It didn't, or at least arch him or whatever. Or they did his eyebrows wrong. I'm sorry. They did his I'll be sure eyebrows wrong. I'm sick of his eyebrows right here. You know, I lost my train of thought because of his brows. You know, his browsers. But again, we have to understand that Billy was a telepath too, so he could read minds. So he was up there reading their minds. He could hear everything they're saying. And he's literally like, yo, just stop arguing or whatever. But he's just hearing their thoughts. So again, kind of when he walked in, I'm not going to lie, it kind of reminded me of the kid that they have, that they had playing Billy from WandaVision. The way that he was walking, the way he kind of looked, and everything kind of reminded me of that kid. So shout out to Joe Lott for actually taking I think I would say 100%. He took a little inspiration from that kid and made the character a little bit of his own from that kid. So shout out to him for that. And so he's looking at himself in the mirror and he keeps saying, I'm William Kaplan. I'm William Kaplan. I'm William Kaplan. You know what I mean? And again, you know, so he could be able to play the role of William Kaplan. You know, but again, he doesn't remember anything from William Kaplan's past because he's technically not William Kaplan. He's the soul of Billy Maximoff is inside of him. You know what I mean? He just has the body of William Kaplan. You know what I mean? And he kind of freaks out on him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, can we just have, you know, a dinner? It's my treat, you know, all of that. So they're just trying to figure it out and just trying to make it as comfortable for him as possible. You know what I mean? So he goes up, and what's crazy, you got this Houdini picture, this Mystic Rock. It almost seemed like, you know, William Kaplan was kind of already into, you know, magic. And if you under magic and energy, you know what I mean? Because you see like the Mystic Rock, you know, just in this room right now, you see the Houdini, King of Cards, you know, it's almost like they were setting him up. Alice in Wonderland, the Wizard of Oz. This is literally the witch's role is the Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? There's a lot, you know what I mean? There's a lot in here that shows this setup for who he is. I know this poster on the side. Oh God, the Black Cauldron. I think that's what that is. Yep, Black Cauldron. You know what I'm saying? First of all, Black Cauldron is awesome. Yes, I did notice that. They're literally playing into the Wizard of Oz effect. That's why I like Alice in Wonderland. Of course, you know, it's Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Of course, you know, Disney ain't gonna do nothing this not outside of their realm, you know. But have you noticed that Agatha all along And Werewolf by Night had a lot of Wizard of Oz elements to it. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. And it actually would be dope if they could tie in the end of Agatha to Werewolf by Night. Just so all of this could start being cohesive. I'm just saying. It would be dope. To me. You know what I mean? But again, he's looking at all of this stuff. Look, I mean, even there's your Alice in Wonderland right here. We already seen in future clips that they're going to cosplay as Alice in Wonderland. Like literally, you see, he got the figure. He looking like me with the figures in the back. You know what I'm saying? I shout out to William Kaplan. You know what I mean? With the figurines and stuff in his house. But that's right there, the Wizard of Oz. And then he's looking like he doesn't remember any of this. You know, he doesn't remember any of this. Bobby Toshiro, what's going on? It would be nice, but how could they tie it in with Werewolf by Night? At the end of Werewolf by Night is when Elsa Bloodstone, basically they went into Technicolor like the end of Wizard of Oz. You know, when you go from the black and white to that version. Now, the Witch's Row, because to me, the Witch's Row seems like it's in an alternate either universe or alternate dimension. And that dimension for Werewolf by Night can be in the dimension at the end of the Witch's Row. Right? Because remember, this is where all the Universal Monsters was at. Or the Marvel cinematic version of the werewolf. You know, you got a Man-Thing, you got Elsa Bloodstone. You know, you can have that tie into the end of the Witch's Row, taking you to another portion of the alternate dimension where all the dark, like basically like Dormammu's land. You know how that's an alternate dimension? This could be an alternate dimension for everything that's of the dark side of the MCU. So you got the dark side of the MCU in this particular dimension over here. You got street level stuff that has nothing to do with this. You got all your space stuff over here. You literally could do it if you do it right. So then when you start getting in a Blade and you want to do Blade, well, you got a dimension that actually has vampires and all of that in there. So yes, there is a way to be able to tie it in. They just have to put the bow on the end of this package to make it make sense. And I believe they can. The problem is, will they? Aggressively relaxing. What's up? What is up? So again, he's looking at William Kaplan's life and, you know, seeing everything, and he's legitimately trying to be William Kaplan. So he said, my name is William Kaplan. You know what I mean? He's just trying to be what he is because he has no choice. He knows he's in somebody else's body. So now we're getting, you know, where you get to the lead up to where he goes into Agatha and he meets Agatha for the first time, you know, but we're here with his boyfriend. He's talking about the sigil, you know, and again, he's reading his boyfriend's thoughts and he already knew that his boyfriend was going to tell him he loved him. That's why he said, you know, I love you too. And again, I haven't heard about the woke crowd. Oh my God, it's woke. Woke. I've been known for woke. You know, and really you can't call this woke because the Young Avengers established him being gay almost 20 years ago. So you can't say anything because he's already been established, brand new character, you know, as far as Wiccan, you know what I mean? Already established, but I don't hear the woke crowd on this one either. But again, I digress. You know what I mean? But he starts to tell them, and he starts to confess that the night that he had his accident, you know, this is where, or exactly, American DJ girl, and Baby Shishiro, you are absolutely correct. It could lead, you know, it could just lead to a path to get to other dimensions where all this stuff is at. And yes, aggressively relaxing. Hey, that's some. Hey, look. That is I gotta put this on here. That is a good tie-in. Thanks for that. Yeah. Hey, yeah, exactly. When he gets married, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've been alone for whoa. But yeah, he gets to tell him that he is not really Billy Kaplan inside. You know, he is really Billy Maximoff inside. You know what I mean? And that's kind of good that he was able to express himself and tell him how he was, and he was supportive. Now he goes into, you know, well, in all of this now look how much the room has changed in 3 years. Of course, he went from 13 to 16. You know, you got all of this stuff that he was finding out on the internet about Agatha Harkness, or who is Agatha, and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So he's finding out all this information, and then we see Jennifer Kale on TV. So he was literally, you know, finding all these people. He starts seeing it way before he met them. You know, which is, to me, is awesome. Because again, it's tying in how they play a significant part in this role. And again, I like good storytelling. But what I like most of all is great visual storytelling, that not only are you telling me this, you're showing me this. You're showing me what they were doing prior to. You're showing me Alice, you're showing me Jennifer Kale, you're showing me Liliana. You're showing me all of this stuff. So I'm not trying to figure out where does these people come in at. Why are they so important? And now I kind of understand why you don't see Rio. The now rumor, which I believe there's very much legitimacy about this, is that she is Mistress Death. You know what I mean? It's Yo-Ho. Thank you so very much. We don't know. I believe that they're going to introduce him at the. His thing was to find Tommy. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to introduce him at the end of this series. That's going to be the big thing. Kind of like what they did in the actual Young Avengers comics. You know what I mean? I think that's what they're going to do. But again, visual storytelling. Not only are you showing me, you're telling me. And again, this shows all the main characters that we're going to find in this show are all tied in somewhere or another. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but you got one of my favorite movies, you know what I'm saying, for back in the day. I'm telling you, Mika G will be proud. You got a Carrie poster in the back. I don't know if that's Liza Minnelli, but you see it got darker. You know what I'm saying? In here, the way that, you know, he went from this light at Alice in Wonderland and all of this, and now you get to see all this dark imagery. You see the signals and the back, all the research he was doing. Like, he went really completely ham sandwich when he came to the research. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm going to find out who I am. So again, Craft Crazy, he was reaching out to this Craft Crazy person. You know what I mean? And it said, hi there. I can't really see because, again, you know, the mysterious anomaly in Westview, New Jersey is up. But it's like, hi there. It's probably been following about, I'm something the night just ran. I'm genuinely Vitamix exercise. So this is from the Craft Crazy, but I was trying to see if it was something, but it was not. But there's a clue. There's a clue. Melanin 100, what's going on? Reincarnation. It's literally right here. They're literally showing you that he was looking up reincarnate. It's just cut up. Past lives is highlighted. Like, I love doing these recaps where we can go, you know, at least frame by frame, step by step. You know what I mean? But you can see past life. He got highlighted past lives in amalgamation or something, something-uation. I can't read it because it's cut. But he was looking up reincarnation. like on some Tupac. I came back reincarnated. Now I'm Billy Kaplan, and now I'm rapping, and I don't know what to do. Now I'm coming around new and going to do. Now I'm just playing, but that's how much he was looking into this, into his research. So now this is, I'm not gonna lie. This, you know, we're getting ready to meet Ralph Boner, right? And Puma Lee, you know where they could do the King of the Dead? Remember in Moon Knight? That's why I said I hate when people pick on Moon Knight, because Moon Knight was way better than people give it credit for. In Moon Knight, you had the Duat. And the Duat, he was in the afterlife, right? And that was a field of weeds. You got the afterlife for Wakandans. You know what I'm saying? In the African plains with all the Panthers. That's where you have the King of the Dead. That's where you could go in. You know what I'm saying? There could be another way to get into the afterlife. Just the same with Valhalla. What they showed at the end of Thor, Love and Thunder. There is a way for you to go into. There should be a way for you to go into these other realms, the spiritual realm, without having to have a heart-shaped herb or getting drained of the heart-shaped herb or whatever, all of that stuff. There should be an alternate universe, kind of like what they did in Tai Lao, you know, in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, where you could go in here and commune with the afterlife. Now, in the midst of that, that's where you can do the King of the Dead storyline. You can literally have T'Challa as you don't even have to have him as a human. You could just have him as a spiritual figure, just a silhouette. And then all of the other Panthers was like, we're going to abuse you with the power, of if you're going to have the knowledge in everything of every Black Panther you came before him, and with a beam of light, merge everything into one. You could go back and have the Black Panthers from the actual comics. You know what I'm saying? Like Negus and you know what I'm saying? Black Panther 1 million BC and all of that. You can tie all of that together for your new Black Panther so he can be the King of the Dead the right way. You know what I mean? And then when he looks different, you can explain he was imbued with, he might come out different because he was imbued with every single last Black Panther that ever lived beforehand. That's how you do that. If you get what I'm saying. All right, let's keep going. What's up, Kiro? What's up? So again, there's many ways to be able to do that and bring him back from the dead. You know what I mean? All right, and we meet Ralph Boner, Bonerific 69. We already know what bro up to. You know what I mean? And we get Evan Peters as Ralph Boner. You know what I'm saying? This was now. Remember, Evan Peters just came off of playing Jeffrey Dahmer. There's parts of this, you know what I mean? That is funny and sad all of the same. Because when he literally throws this thing and says, it's like, God damn it. I actually felt it because it seemed more sad than anything. It was literally sad. But again, he was, his job right here was to tell him how, he escaped the hex. And we seen him. Remember, he was cuffed and he was out of there. You know what I'm saying? He was completely out of there. But again, he was reading his mind, like, don't ask about Agatha Harkness. He start asking about him. You know what I mean? And he starts talking about how he was her husband. You know what I'm saying? And, he was basically, he couldn't do anything, but in his mind, he was watching the TV show of himself, which is weird. And he couldn't do anything. And he had, he locked up Photon, aka Monica Rambeau. You know what I mean? He did all of this stuff, and you could tell it messed with him. And it was actually funny and tragic at the same time. And I really Evan Peters has always been a great actor. But to me, especially the way he portrayed Dahmer, but to me, this was really great because it tuned into almost theatrical loony bin and sad individual that went through some horrible stuff that in my mind, I was like, damn, I wouldn't want to be nobody's puppet like that. That's absolutely horrific. You know what I mean? So he started asking about the twins. You know what I'm saying? He asked him what happened to them. He said they just up and disappeared. What was their name? Billy and Tommy. You know what I mean? He was said they probably got sucked up into the bubble. But they literally, we seen them become dust. They almost had to, if you notice, you know, especially when Vision left, they had the same little sparkly stuff, you know, or the gold dust, the same way that that on in Thor Ragnarok, the way that Odin, the way that Odin died, and all of that, you know, gold, you know, mist went into the air. Go back and watch WandaVision. That's the same way they disappeared. Now, I don't know about y'all, but then that told me that she was able to create life. And what I mean by that, the spirit of life, not necessarily in the physical form, that chaos magic was able to create the spiritual life. What I'm telling you, WandaVision went a little deep. They was a little bit deeper than what people was thinking, you know. But now he knows. Now he knows his mission. Now tell me, they did better with his eyebrows. Now they arched his eyebrows that he give him. I mean, it's still a little. This eyebrow is still a little weird, but at least it looks better. You know, I'm not so distracted by his Albie Shores. All right. You know what I mean? But, you know, now he got the Lord again. Everything ties in. He was playing the Lorna Wu album. That's how, have you noticed? He knew about all the clues. He was the main one that found out about the clues and deciphered the clues. They're telling you in this episode, that's why I said this is more than filler. This is more than filler to me, because you're doing the background work to understand why he was so important on the Witch's Row. He already knew the song because he's been playing the song because he did his research. Yeah, my brows is terrible, big bro. My brows is terrible. He still got his Alice in Wonderland right here. You know, I don't know what that is. The strut I don't know what that is. You know, but it seemed like he started posting more of the witches' information down here. And, you know what I mean? Yeah, his research game is incredible. If y'all, right here, I can't zoom and enhance this, but if tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys can see it. This looks like Agatha's mother right here. That looks like Agatha's mother. And I wonder why. I wonder two things. Number one, I wonder because he knew he studied Lorna Wu and everything that she had. I wonder, is that why the generational curse attacked him? Because he knew what was going on. Executive Judge, what's going on? So I wonder, did he know all along? He knew the Witch's Row. He studied so much, he was already prepared. You know what I mean? He was already prepared. There's a lot of imagery in here that is good. Now, on here, he was like, Wanda Maximoff dead. Vision dismantled. Tommy Maximoff missing. Billy Maximoff is him. And Publi said he does the same research in the comics. You know, for sure. But now he's looking at the sigil and all of that. Again, this is great storytelling because, again, what you're doing is he's playing the record. Of course, I'm not going to play it. He's playing the record, so he knew the lyrics to Down by the Witch's Row. So when they start singing, it's not out of place. You're taking episode 1 and 2, and you're tying it in with episode 6, and you're making it make sense. So it doesn't seem like he just came along just out of the blue. Now this is some of the things that I've been talking about when it came to Marvel. That Marvel was so busy telling jokes and making you laugh, and we don't want to be too dark, that they forgot about the storytelling, right? Let's give Marvel their props. They went back to the storytelling, visually and communicatively, communicating the story, letting us see it, and actually giving us exposition that makes sense. Again, I'm always give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? I'm not going to eat their lunch. And again, this is the reason why I like Penguin, because again, particular episodes is tying into particular episodes. And that's all I've been asking, for Marvel to do, is make it make sense. Tie this crap together. You know what I mean? Tie this crap together, make it make sense. And now, you're seeing Wanda here. Terror aboard airship is told by survivors. Airship crashes as it completes its journey. Multiple investigations launched. 66 crew and passengers survived. Lake house disaster. 29 bodies of deceased identified. This is the Zeppelin crash right here. But Agatha was there. So it was Agatha all along. Is not far-fetched. Well, again, I love the fact he's researching this information, because he's finding, if you notice, when they said she had a body count, she got a body count. Does this 1972 surveillance photo of Dolly Parton show the real Jolene? Again, you're looking down. That's Agatha. It's Photoshop. What is Agatha? Is she getting slapped? Why does it look like she's getting slapped? Okay, I pay good money to get slapped by Dolly. She's one lucky layer. Of course, she's Jolene. Agatha Harkness is infamous. Check out my site, Brujapita. It's a Brujapedia. Yeah, Jolene is my favorite song. So he clicks on it. I'm showing this now because again, I'm slowing it down, breaking it down for you guys because it makes sense. Now, this was part of the Salem 7. The Salem witches cult. Abigail Adams, Addie Denson, Ariel Franks, Agatha Harkness, AJ Kearns. All right, let me read this to you. Unknown, last seen in Nashville, Tennessee, 1973. Seen at various points in the early and mid 20th century. Heisenberg disaster, the Titanic. Unconfirmed reports of Agatha traveling the eastern seaboard and it gets cut off. Murdered her. Fun facts. Murdered her entire coven. Like they're possessing succubus power. They're literally breaking down Agatha, nickname witch killer. Only known survivor of the Witch's Row, which that's where they break down it. Now, I'll also say this particular episode is for the new rock stars out here. This is for the heavy spoilers, emergency, also everything always. The guys who actually break down this particular stuff. Now, again, I'm doing a recap, but I'm also breaking down certain stuff because I got time today. And just look how much storytelling they're getting into. So he already knew what was cracking. He knew what was cracking. I love this folklore reference. Let's see if we can be able to read it. We wasn't able to read it. It was too blurry. Bruja is a witch in Spanish. The J. Bruja. Bruja. Hey, look. Succubus powers is crazy because I know a couple let me shut up. I knew a couple in my day. You know what I'm saying? Child support coming out of my check. Don't tell me about a succubus. I done met them before. Trust me. I know all about them. You know what I'm saying? I know all about them brujas. Yeah. So let me keep going. Let me stop it. Okay. All right. This is just saying, the Witch's Row, and they think he clicks on the riches. And now, mind you, they were playing the song Down by the Witch's Row, and he turns around. And I think this is the reason why he has so much of a connection with Alice and why once he found out who Alice really was, he started to take real fond of her. Again, great storytelling. Not good storytelling. This is great because now it makes sense why he connected with her so fast. No, I'm just letting you know that I know some succubus. Trust me. Pockets on slim. You know what I'm saying? Because they was taking my monies. No, we learned that from Bad Boys 3. And then again, he was playing the song. You know, that's Alice's mother. You know. And he was playing Down by the Witch's Row. So now when you get to the scene, when you get back to the scene where he was where the tape recorder came in, now we know why. I mean the tape recorder, the record in the 70s. Now we know why. He knew that song. You know what I mean? And he was very much prepared for the Witch's Row, more than we think he was. And now this all makes sense. Now everything is tying together. You know what I'm saying? With him. Now, again, let's go and try to read this. We almost are always somewhat profound. At the end of the Witch's Row, let's see, we may find what's missing. What's missing? Which again, now, what is missing? What is missing out of his life right now? His brother. That's why I believe that this is going to end with him finding his brother. And then they start going into stuff that was going on with the actual witches. But Luna Wu and the Coral Shores, the Ballad of the Witch's Row. I mean, listen to side one. Let's see. The Ballad of the Witch's Row, 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Miles to Go. Amber. Hold up, wait a minute. There's some clues. Check this out. The Ballad of the Witch's Row is number 1. Number 2, Miles to Go. Walk in the path of the Witch's Row, or tied to Alice in Wonderland. Follow the yellow brick road. Or he's on down the road. I say, and then you got Amber. What did the Salem 7 that was chasing Agatha Harkness, how did they find her? They found the amber crystal on the ground that I believe Liliana had, right? That she had. Number 4, something wicked. Who do we know was wicked in this whole entire story? Agatha. The last one, call the coroners. Call the coroners? Why would you call the coroners if death is not always around? And that ties into Rio. Man, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to be on my live new Rockstar stuff. Roberta, thank you so very much for the succubus. I need a body roll for that. Thank you, Roberta, for the $5 super chat. And remember, you can, priority messages for members. So you want to be a part of the crew. It's $2.99 a month. I mean, hell, Big Macs ain't even that no more. You know what I mean? That's a large fry. So buy me a large fry, which I'm not going to eat from McDonald's, by becoming a member, or send me a super chat. But of course, since you did send me a super chat, you already know what I'm going to do. Body roll. Super chat, body roll. That man said fried. I need him to stop that. All right. So, yeah, this was awesome for me to catch right there while it was spinning. You know what I mean? That was awesome. So good. Again, he has all these books. He's been studying. Remember in episode 1 where she was like, somebody's been stealing these books and trying to figure out what books has been taken out the library? There you go. So now he was on his way to Agatha Harkness' house. He put his ski mask on because he was going to break in. You know what I'm saying? Texting his boyfriend, but he literally ski masked up to get in her house. She's over here playing cop, and I'm not going to lie. This here was funny. The reason why it was funny, for the simple fact she was using the end of the garden hose the spray of the garden hose is a gun. I thought that was hilarious. She was literally still playing the part of a cop in her house, with a gun, that was the end of a water hose, sprayer for her house. And then she's wearing a Boner Family Reunion shirt. Presetta. Oh no, Presetta with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so very much, Presetta, for the $4.99 super chat. Let me go ahead and give you something. You know what I'm saying? Because, I gotta do this for y'all. Because it's gang banging, gang banging, gang banging. I'm trying to stop the gang banging. You know what I'm saying? That's going out of here. Trying to stop the gang banging. So thank you so very much for setting up for that $4.99 super chat. Again, if you want a super chat, you can. And also you can become a member also where I prioritize your comments. The Minty Gas, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. But it's funny that it was called Boner Family Reunion. That's hilarious to me. So this is where we get the chase at the beginning. But remember, we were seeing it from her point of view. But literally, is Boner Family Reunion, grab your pitch a tent. You know what I mean? There's so much funniness in there to me. Like, look, you see her. Like, Boner Family Reunion, pitch a tent. Yeah, you said she had beer bottles instead of cups in the first. Exactly. Like, this is hilarious. And again, Kathleen is so incredible as this. If you notice that the green gun is it's the end of the water hose. I thought that was so fun. I thought this was hilarious because she really was like she was a cop and that was a gun. Like she and then she's making the faces. I thought this was great. But this is basically now, remember she said the reverse tower? This is the reverse now of his side of what happened episode number 1. This is the reverse tower now. You know what I mean? So when she was breaking out of that spell, when he was keep saying it, that's the reason why she was seeing the painting and all of that. You know what I mean? Because he started to break her spell and she started to get out of it herself. And he was so powerful because, again, he's spiritually the son of Wanda Maximoff. He has literally the same type of magic that she has. His is blue, hers is red. That he could be able to break that spell. So he was just joking with her, like, you typecast me as the bratty teen. You know what I'm saying? All of that. She was just going. I mean, she was just living it up. But again, we already seen this in episode 1. The reason why she tied him up. When he started saying the spell out loud, and she ended up tying him up. You know what I'm saying? And why she woke up that day. And now we're seeing basically now the recap. Where she was like, "What's your name?" My name is William Kaplan. You know what I'm saying? And then again, this is everything we seen. He told her his name was William Kaplan, but when the sigil didn't allow her to know who he was, and she said, "Say that again," and he said, "I'm Billy Maximoff." And then she said, "Say it again." I'm trying not to get a copyright strike. So if you see me stopping it, and she said, "Say the name again." And then that's when, remember, we seen it from that side, and we seen the sigil come up because he starts saying his real name. And he said, "I'm Billy Maximoff." And then now we're back on the witch's row. And now we're done with the recap as far as why Billy is there and all of that. And and you're right, Torian. Oh, now we're on the yellow brick road, baby. We're getting towards the end. You know what I'm saying? We're ease on down the road. And then Wanda's pulling herself out the mud. Now, Wanda believes that the other witches are dead. You know what I mean? But we don't know that the other witches are dead. He broke the sigil now, and she starts to ask him, she starts to tell him, that he's like his mom. How did you figure it out? All this stuff, and she really now at this point in time is trying to figure out, why he's there. But there was a moment because remember, she was a babysitter for Billy and Tommy, right? There was a point where she said, I miss you, Billy. And I believe it was honestly genuine. You know what I mean? Because she was looking at, as she was the nanny, you know what I'm saying, for Billy and Tommy in those WandaVision episodes. But in here, it was like, he was telling them, don't hold anything back, from your real power, your real talent. You know what I mean? Now, she was just trying to figure out, she was telling them he saw opportunity going to another body. Now, she's speaking to Billy, the kid, right now. No relation to Billy, the actual kid, but Billy, the child, the spirit inside of him. He said, you can't be afraid of doing that. You took an opportunity and you went for it. He was like, I don't trust you. And he wasn't able to pull his powers back without him going Super Saiyan and getting pissed off because Krillin is getting ready to die. You know what I mean? So that was actually, and she was a nanny in the comics. You know what I mean? So she was letting them know you can't use your powers without, a temper tantrum. And I think that she's going to teach him still how to be able to unlock his powers. Yeah, and that TV, she wasn't a babysitter for real, but she watched them. Remember, the kids grew on her watch. You know what I mean? So again, WandaVision was still some great television for me, at least. She was like, I don't trust you, but if we work together, we could be able to get to what you're looking for or what I'm looking for. And she was like, oh, that's right, you got a twin, and that's his end game. Now we know this is the end game. But I love this line, and I'm gonna play it. And he was out there. He was like, he's out there somewhere. But he was like, I can sense him. I just can't find him. And the way that Kathleen Hahn plays this, she was like, gosh, you really are a Maximoff. Now, why does that sound familiar? Why did she say that? What was the whole reason for Multiverse of Madness? You know what I mean? What was the whole reason for Multiverse of Madness? She was looking for her baby. She was looking for her babies. Somewhere in the multiverse, she was going to find her babies. She used the Darkhold to find her babies, and she went to go find her babies that was not her babies because there was already a Wanda already there. There was already that's why she said, you really are a Maximoff. He said, otherwise, none of this would be nearly as dramatic. You know what I mean? So I do love this. And again, it ties into, now you're making sense. Now you're tying the story of WandaVision in the way, and of course, I didn't like, not WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness. You're tying in Multiverse of Madness along with what you see in WandaVision and now Agatha all along. Right? Now it's starting to make sense. Now it's starting to make sense. And with it making sense now you get to see the final 3 episodes of what we're going to be looking forward to as he looks for his brother. And that is where, the end game is. You know what I mean? And he's trying to say he's not nice. And then now we're at the end. Lorna Wu, Battles of the Witches roll. You know what I mean? This is the end of the episode where the credits roll. And that was Agatha All Along, episode 6 recap. Did you like the breakdown? Did you guys like the breakdown, me finding the extra stuff, man? Put it in the comment section if you're watching this on the replay. But in the chat, put it down. Did I found some extra stuff, some extra nuggets, you know what I mean, in this episode? Because that was very interesting that we found out that everything that Billy was looking for and looking at was literally on the record. It was literally on the record. The amber, what you gotta, how you gotta go down the witch's road, the mile journey, the death. You know what I'm saying? Death. Rio is I need her, and plus Okay, this is just me. This is just me. I would love for her to be Mistress Death because she can literally be the craziness to Deadpool's craziness. And I gotta have Mistress Death and Deadpool meet and he fall in love with her, and just like the Deadpool game, so they can so they can do the dance for Pulp Fiction like they did in the game. I would love it. I would love it. But what did you guys think about this episode? What did you Emergency Awesome? You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with Emergency Awesome. I still watch him from time to time. It's Screen Crushers who I stopped, fooling with. And you already know, I stopped fooling with them a long time ago. Oh, it's Sheed. Thank you for the man. Y'all been blessing the brother, man. Thank you so very much for the $10 super chat. Dope episode, very insightful for our love it channel. Appreciate it. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. Let's go. Let me hit you with this.
Thank you for your super chat.
Ugly ass macking me. I'm sorry. I just had to do that. I hate that movie. That movie is trash. That movie is 100% trash. E.T. knockoff. I hate that movie. I'll watch it just for pure hilarity. That's it. Episode 6 was good. I stayed thinking this show would suck, but every episode say prove me wrong. The only episode that kind of sucked was episode 4, but even then, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I don't know if this is the first time I've ever seen you in the chat. So I thank you so very much for being up early in this chat, doing this live breakdown, live recap. Just being real with you, I didn't believe in this show. And everybody knows why I didn't, but everybody who is a member or have watched this channel was faithfully in the chats every morning that I'm here knows why. Because I personally feel there was a lot more worthy shows that could have been shown, worthy characters that could have got a show that did not get a show. Monica Rambeau, Rhodey, they could have brought back Luke Cage along with Daredevil. So there's things that, to me, that they could have did better, or they could have had, they could have had a show for. With that being said, I do appreciate the writing on this show. It has kept me engaged. It has kept me the Thursday, or when I did it last Friday. But Thursdays, look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. We're discussing the show. We're doing breakdowns. I'm actually stopping and we're talking about this. Gives me 7% hope. 7% hope. Now, what we don't need to do is have, one thing dope and the next one trash. We don't need to do that one. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that. But again, 7% hope is all I have right now. If they can course correct, which they're doing right now, I will give, when they did the Marvel television division, this is them course correcting all the problems that they had, trying to make these shows movies and stuff like that. So I do give them that. So with that being said, I like this show. I want the finale to be worth it, though. And especially the finale of WandaVision is one of the best finales they have done in these Disney Plus shows. Me personally. So if they keep this thing going, I'm gonna be happy. I'll be happy. But let me get to kid, and that's the question, Puma Lee. Kid Disney stick to the landing. That was it. Megami is hilarious in the worst ways possible. If you've never seen Mac and Me, that is the creepiest family. I would have shot them. I'm not lying. Give me a xenomorph before I wake up to Mac and Me and his family. Good God Almighty! Man, give me a xenomorph. This is a great episode. Breakdown. We can't get this kind of rated for black. And again, I think that sucks. And that's the reason why. I have no expectation for any Disney Plus shows. It has freed me from getting my hopes up, and I can just watch to see what happens. Then again, that's why I'm like at 7%. You know what I mean? Because I'm enjoying the show for what it is. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the show for what it is. And absolutely, can the Disney stick to the landing? Plus, Jack Schaefer said she learned lessons for WandaVision and said at this time stuff will lead to somewhere. Exactly. It's your man. Again, you guys have been amazing with the super chats. The sheet again with the $5 super chat. I know I didn't ask for this show, but Marvel is taking care of us on this one so far. And this one so far has really been good. And I think it will get better towards the end of the episode. So I gotta bring up an old school one for you, man, because I appreciate you. Unless you want the body roll, let me ask you what you want, because I can give you the body roll. If you need the body roll, I got you. But if you want that old school, I got that old school for you. You tell me what you want before I hit that button. You tell me. Disney Plus should give the streaming to Hulu. They do it much better for fans. Ain't that all on the same app though? Oh, old school. Let's go. Old school. I got you. Little old school.
I done came up, got my name up. So when they speaking who blinged up, I'm who they bring up.
When they speaking who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. I love that episode. And then he get punched in the face by Butch Magnus. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, you guys enjoyed the episode. You enjoyed my breakdown. Again, I was more. It wasn't as okay. There's no fighting going on, because you know how I feel. Yeah, y'all know how I feel if there was fighting going around. You know how I be. But if you've been here long enough, you know what it's time for.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
And you already know, man. I gotta wrap it up. He said nope. He said nope. Disney Plus keeps logging you out. That's crazy. But anyway, thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Max Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Enjoy you guys this Thursday, man. Where's my outro at? Let me get up out of here, man. It is time to go. Where's the outro at? Let's go.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over?
What?
Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.